One of the most common questions we get from our viewers are what wineries we think are up and coming and what wineries we like. If you've watched this channel, you know how much Pops loves Napa and Bordeaux. So you'd think he'd have an opinion on at least those regions. Today's episode is dedicated to chasing down hidden gems. Promise, a boutique winery founded by media executive Stephen McPherson and his wife Jennifer, was recommended by Mark in one of our wine cellar tours.
Another one that I really like is Promise. They've been, to me, a highly consistent, well-made wine. It's not readily available.
And of course, Pops was ready to find out the real story about Promise. After having the chance to taste the wine in person, Pops went ahead and ordered a case of both the Cabernet and the Bordeaux blend. So did Pops make the right decision? Will he be happy with his purchase, and how does Stacey feel about these wines? Watch our episode to find out.
Are we rolling?
Yes.
All right, okay. Hi, wine lovers. Welcome to another episode of Our Poor Decisions.
And this episode, it's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we've ever just reviewed a random Napa Valley boutique winery.
Well, it's not actually random because Mark from the wine cellar tour did recommend it to you.
That is true. And I also got to try it. Then, of course, I ended up buying some.
And how do you feel about your purchases?
Well, we're about to find out, right?
And how much do you think Stacey is going to influence your thinking?
Yeah, I don't know that Stacey's going to influence my thinking that much, but I do think for the viewers, it's going to be very helpful to have three different perspectives, right? At the end of the day, wine is a personal preference and personal experience.
Well, it's interesting that you said that because in the 2000 Bordeaux retrospective, we all picked the same favorite wines. So just pointing that out.
We did do that, B. And here's the thing. When we all three picked the same favorites, that too should tell the audience something.
Well, I'm really excited to try a boutique Napa wine. And yeah, let's get started.
Let's get it rolling.
Consider the fact that Napa Valley is just 30 miles long and about 5 miles wide. And yet there are more than 600 bonded wineries, 400 wineries with tasting rooms, and more than 1,700 wine brands that make Napa designated wines. There are 16 American viticultural areas, or AVAs, in Napa Valley. There are the 5 mountain AVAs, Howell Mountain, Mount Veeder, Spring Mountain District, Diamond Mountain District, and Atlas Peak. Then there are 7 valley floor AVAs, Oakville, Rutherford, Stag's Leap, Yountville, Oakmill District, St. Helena, and Calistoga. And lastly, Comsville and Los Carneros, which is shared with Sonoma, and their lesser known Chiles Valley and Wild Horse Valley. Charles Krug, which was founded in 1861, was the first commercial winery in the valley. But by the late 1800s, Napa had more than 100 wineries. This is easy to forget since the Prohibition years more or less wiped out the industry. The judgment in Paris in 1976, which was captured in the 2008 movie Bottle Shock, was a real turning point for Napa, and when the world discovered that Napa could produce world-class wines. If you're looking for bargains, Napa is not the place to be searching. Land prices are now so high that the term value is highly relative. When I'm trying Napa wines, I'm searching for world-class wines, especially Cabernet-based reds.
Welcome, Stacey.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So we're trying 2 wines today from the same boutique Napa winery, but
Fantastic.
honestly, I have no idea what the difference between these 2 wines even is.
They are both Cabernet or Cabernet-based blends from Napa, from the same producer. 100% Cabernet here, yes. And then the Gratitude is a Cabernet-based blend like Bordeaux. So
Okay.
Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Malbec, and Petit Verdot.
As you know, those are the 5 Bordeaux varieties.
Yeah.
Oh, B, yeah, you know.
Yeah, did you know that?
Oh, come on, B. So I think one of the fun parts of this is that we get to taste like a winery that's like a boutique winery, which means, you know, they're just making really small quantities. So each of these are only made in 350 cases. So compare that, for instance, to Opus, 25,000 cases,
So much.
300,000 bottles of wine.
It's a
You know,
lot.
that's a lot.
It's like mass production at that point.
I do feel like, you know, these types of wines are more interesting.
I completely agree. Like, there are great quality wines made at like all different price points and all different production levels, but it's so much more interesting when you do it on this tiny little scale. Like, the guys you met who own the place make the wine, walk through the fields. Like, they're interacting with this on a daily basis, and the wine's going to be different every year because you have such a small quantity. It's like every year is going to reflect the terroir. Every year is going to reflect the vintage. Where when you talk about these big production, they're creating tanker loads full of wine, and they can blend across all of their grape vineyards styles to give you consistency every year, which can be great. Outback's Outback wherever you go, but like your local steakhouse is going to be different and fun and unique, and like the personality is going to come out of it every time.
And the McPhersons, who own the winery Promise, told us that even though it's not their land, they're sourcing for 3 different plots, they set the standards for the organic and biodynamic farming that happens in the vineyards. And they both said, 99% of the wine is actually made in the vineyards.
That's the best answer. A winemaker says that and I'm sold. I'm like, okay, talk to me more.
Well, in a way, it's kind of similar to our Pingus video, right? Because we learned in that video, smaller wineries often have more quality and more care. So I'm excited to try these.
I just felt this moment of closeness. Oh my gosh, I want you to know.
Tying it back in, remember.
Oh my
gosh. Like she's
please.
learning.
Well, when you edit the video and watch the clips back over and over, it kind of sticks with you.
You think?
Oh, this is like the best ever. This is like
it.
a dad moment. It's like, oh.
Are you so proud?
Wow. So the one thing that I'm a little concerned about, right, is that this is a 2021 and they're built to age. These are really, really well-made, built-to-age wines. And typically I get a little nervous when they're young, especially that young. I like them like, like maybe
20,
8.
25 years.
No, Napa I think the sweet spot for a Napa is like 8 to 12.
Okay.
They can easily go, 20, 30 years,
For sure.
but that's my humble opinion. You got an opinion on this?
I don't necessarily disagree with you. I think Napa comes out of the gate with all of those fruits, tannins. It's just front loaded with so many aspects that right away you can drink what's happening there. Yes, can you taste it and go, oh, these tannins need to soften? Yes, some age would be good for this, for sure. But there's just so much happening right up front. The ripeness of the fruit just really drives the boat.
Like you mentioned, Napa starts out with lots of fruit and lots of tannins, and they kind of balance each other out.
Right.
And then at some point, the fruit kind of mellows down a little bit and the tannins are still there. And so you end up with this tannin monster. And it's just not as pleasant as you want it.
Not as much fun to drink.
And that's kind of that period of time when maybe that's like 2 to 6 years. I don't know. It varies obviously depending on the wine. And then it comes out of that, it's more balanced because the tannins had time to kind of settle and balance out. And that's when I think the sweet spot is.
So which wine are we going to try first? The blend or the 100% cab?
You want to start with Kat?
I think it's fine, either way.
Even though Promise makes a wide variety of wines, I'm really focused on the red Cabernet-based bottlings. I've had a special place in my heart for Napa Cabs ever since I had my first taste of Harlan back in the 90s. The absolute best Napa Cabs are intense wines with ripe dark fruit, integrated tannins, and acidity to balance it all out. That's what I'm searching for today, and what I'm expecting from Promise. The Promise Winery was founded by Steve McPherson. McPherson grew up in France and developed a deep passion for wine early on. You might even argue that the wine business was calling his name all along.
Mom and Dad just absolutely, dipped us deep into the European culture, food, wine, and it just became a part of our daily life. But just the idea of what these artisans were doing, how much it was a part of the culture, how much it was about, bringing food and wine and people together. I fell in love with it at that age, and unfortunately that got a little derailed when I went to college, and it was American University, and it was all beer, to be honest. It was like Mad Dog 2020 was the wine at the wine and cheese party. But then after that, I moved to Los Angeles, and first, at probably age 27, discovered Napa, and it was, as close as I could see to what Europe had in a much smaller way and a newer way. And that was the beginning of kind of really this next chapter, which is, Promise.
The Gratitude is a Bordeaux blend. And even though it's heavy on Cabernet Sauvignon, all of the 5 Bordeaux grape varieties have their place. According to McPherson, the Malbec and Petit Verdot serve as a bit of a spice. This is definitely a team effort, and it seems that Jennifer has the final say on the blend.
Early on when we were dating, I went over to her apartment to drop her off or pick her up, and there was a wine spectator on the coffee table, and I stupidly, machismo, dumb, I go, "Whose is this?"
No, you
That's
did
my
not.
wine spectator.
It's my one.
I probably know more than you. You know, it's like, it was a moment. It was funny.
I think for the viewers, the McPhersons clearly have a very clear philosophy on their winemaking.
Our motto is always drink the good stuff first, and that was from experience of saving good bottles to the end of drunken parties and, you know, wasting them. But I think now we're pretty good at saying, like, yeah, it's a Tuesday night, there's nothing going on, but we're gonna open something great, because why not? She really noticed that, you know, from my day job to when we would be in Napa or a wine region, I was a different person. I was enjoying it. I was, you know, enthusiastic about it. I was a little lighter.
You breathed easier.
I breathed easier. Yeah. And she literally made me promise the day before our wedding, which, by the way, that's a good leverage point, like right before the wedding. But she made me promise that we were going to make wine a significant part of our lives.
And the story of Promise and the name and even the logo, or
Yeah.
the brand, is really, really sweet.
It is.
And I encourage people to go on their website, read about it, and just kind of learn about the winery and learn about the people and the story behind it.
Yeah, it's a great story, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, so I do notice that it's got those like legs on the side.
Oh yeah, for
Ooh.
sure. Right? And there's so much color in the glass. Like, there is no seeing through this. There's not, like, light isn't passing through. There's nothing.
So what kind of notes are you smelling?
B, you've been impressing so much. I think you take first shot here.
If I ask the question first, that means I don't have to answer first. So that's my strategy.
Well done. I like it.
So I think this nose is great. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
love this nose. And I wouldn't necessarily say that I love menthol and
Bark.
Yeah, and but this is a great nose.
For me, I
And-
like when Napa isn't fruit first thing. I like when the other elements bring balance right away, because sometimes Napa for me can just be all fruit. And so I appreciate that that's not the first thing that I smelled.
I mean, you can't avoid the fact that it's got dark fruit, like
Oh, yeah.
light fruit. Like, this is not like light, you know.
No, there's nothing that I would
This
say
is
is light
yeah,
about this.
no.
Let's try it. Cheers.
So first of all,
Yes.
this is right down my alley. This is my type of Napa Valley.
Okay.
You may not love it as much as me, but this is right
up your alley.
This is right
Okay.
up my alley.
This is what I'm going to get you for Christmas. So this is not what I want for Christmas.
Okay.
It is delightful. It is cherries coated in chocolate, dusted in like a chocolatey powder. And that's a lot. For me, it's almost too much. Yes, there's balance. I'm not going to disagree there. But this is full throttle is a great description. And I don't know that that's necessarily what I always want.
But this is not like a Heights or Montelena style. This is not like a cherry herbal kind of finer light. This is like full throttle, but balanced.
Okay.
I think this is like phenomenal. I love it. Is it time for the Cabernet?
I think it's time to move on to number 2.
Let's move to number 2. Okay.
The saying goes, how do you end up with a small fortune in the wine business? Well, start with a big one.
I was a type A personality, and so I always kind of fought it off with the excuse of like, oh, this is a bad business. I looked at it, you know, the accounting doesn't make sense. And
Steve McPherson certainly fits the characteristic of a successful business executive going into the wine business. But you get a real sense that Promise is not a vanity project. Steve and Jennifer are passionate and knowledgeable about wine and have set out to make world-class bottlings. 2003 was the inaugural vintage of Promise Cabernet, but the wine was only available to friends and family. The 2005 vintage was the first commercially available release, and Parker gave the wine 95 points in 2015 and commented on the wine's youthfulness after 10 years, the opulence yet freshness, and the lavish use of expensive French oak. The Promise Cabernet is a serious wine by every standard. The McPhersons don't submit their wines to all the professional wine publications, which makes research a bit harder for the average wine collector like me. I can't wait to try this wine.
All right, so this smells like pure Cabernet to me.
Yes. It's like graphite and pencil lead right off the nose.
Intense blackcurrant. This is far more complex
Oh yeah.
on the nose.
There's a
Lots
lot
more going.
This feels very much direct. And this has like elements and elements and elements.
Which makes sense, right? Because it's the blend.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I like the nose of this one.
you do.
I really do.
So I think I like the nose on the Gratitude just because there was so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm more of a taster, not really a sniffer, so
Okay.
I think we should move on to the tasting.
And again, the color is like,
Oh, it's intense.
all right, B,
Cheers.
yes, no.
Yeah, I like this like way more. Not that I didn't like this one. I could drink more of this one now.
This is so much older. Like, they're the same vintage, but there's something about this that just has more like old world feel to it. Like the structure is the first thing that I want to talk about on this. Where
Okay.
here it was like the fruit and the florals and like, for me, this is all about the feels. Like it is the texture of it on my tongue. The tannins are much more aggressive here, like tea leaves and a dried powdery kind of thing that's going on, not in an unpleasant way, but like the feeling of this on my mouth is much grainier. I like the feel of this one a lot better.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Okay, I didn't know where you were going.
I know, I wasn't sure.
So-
I wasn't sure because it was like, there's so much up front. Like, do I like that? Is it too much? I'm enjoying it more. I think it also gives this more room to age as well.
B?
Well, I don't normally like love tannins, but I don't really mind it in this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just like it.
I do too.
All right, so I feel like that says something. So you can drink a designed to age 100% cab
Mhm.
with this much tannins, and you still like it. That tells me that this is like,
These are well done, well made wines.
I
right?
love this one.
Oh, it's delightful.
Like, I love this wine. Like, this to me
This is the better of the two.
world-class Cabernet.
Yeah.
If you had to say one bad thing about it, though, what would you say?
Ooh.
That I only have a case.
So, how do you feel about the green notes that are on this? Because I know green isn't really your thing. But
Yeah, but
there's
I don't, yeah, but see, I think that that's different because there's so much fruit
okay.
to offset it with.
It's part of the balance and not
It's
like
part
an
of the
over.
balance.
Yes.
You know, when I tasted the first time, I gotta tell you, I was a little skeptical going into the tasting, and I was like, you know, and Mark was like, no, this is good stuff.
It's legit.
I'm like, yeah, okay. I thought it was fantastic at the time, which is why we're doing the episode now, and I'm trying it now, and I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, would I drink this instead of Hillside Select? In
Yeah.
a million years.
Yeah.
Would I drink this instead of Insignia?
Yes.
Not even close.
Yeah, that's not even a fair comparison.
So B?
My favorite is the cab. I think everyone knew that already.
I think it's the clear winner.
Here's the funny part.
Oh, do it?
I loved the Gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
but I love the cab even more.
Yes.
Wow, I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that.
Yeah.
And my suspicion is that this is going to age really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 to 12 years from now,
We're going
it's
to be
gonna
excited to try this again.
fabulous. And you know what's going to happen 10 to 12 years from now? I'm not going to own any because it's going to be gone.
You don't think you can wait that long? I love it. I love it.
I want to know, Jeff, I want to know
What's your favorite?
not only what your favorite is, but I want to know what you thought about the wines.
All right. I like the Gratitude.
Okay.
All right.
I actually liked them both.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, to me this just drank better to me.
So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe to our channel. And also you can follow us on Instagram right here.
We have Instagram right now?
Yes, we have Instagram. And we appreciate everyone that's followed and showed us love on there. Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.